Thank you everybody, and welcome to a brand new season of football here at Grindavik. It is my 13th year in charge, so it's a good thing I'm not superstitious, or this could be a disaster. So, look, I'm sorry mate, but the reporter from the Grindavik Times, you usually sit on the left-hand side of the reporter from the Grindavik Herald, so if you guys could just switch really quickly, please. Now, quickly, before the football gods see you.
Synger sammen til segerstråpen Malfram Grindavik Og jeg vet Hvis vattnen ger I dag
Guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome back to Grindavik on the Impossible Dream. It is Lucky Season 13 today, Episode 1, and we will be facing, I forget who we're facing. Does it tell us here somewhere? No, we'll figure it out as we get there. I think it might be Por, which I think's been told is pronounced Thor, and if I'd known it was pronounced Thor, guess where we would have been managing this series. But anyway, yeah, so we'll figure that out as we go. It's Thor and something else, I think. But as ever, when we start a new season, we will have a quick look, a quick recap as where we stand as a club. So media prediction first, we're professional. I've checked, we are still the only professional team, but there are going to be, at the end of this season, ourselves and two other teams with stadiums higher than 10,000 capacity, and there's also going to be another 2 or 3 that are over 7,500 capacity. So I think that's half the league with reasonably sized stadiums. I'm hoping those gate receipts, assuming that they're going to near enough to sell out, is going to be enough to start and push everybody up to turning professional. Yeah, I mean, the quality of player that's coming in looks like it's a bit better as well. But anyway, we're still only 2.5 reputation. We need to improve that to get, I think if we can get to 3-star reputation, I think what that's going to do is start and allow us to then get, actual players in that could really challenge in Europe for us. We've got a determined squad personality. That's been the case for a while, and that's a good personality, I think, for us to have. I am still the manager. Degan is captain this year. Giacchini is going to be vice captain. Baltinson is our key player. Fredrickson, who we'll have a look at momentarily, he is our hot prospect. He has come through the academy too. He's one of our own, so that's good to see. But yeah, I mean, if we do have a quick recap perhaps of the dynamics, as ever when we start the season, it's fairly good. Baltinson wants to start more games, which he's been doing. Mortensen wants to leave to play in a better division. Handsy, mate, if you want to go, fair enough. I said if we get a fee, I forget what the fee was, but no one's going to come in for him. He's we love him, but he's not particularly good. And Bjornsson is wanting to go out on loan to Breidablik. Now, that's the attacking midfielder. I did accept a bid for him for Folgner, and he rejected it. So maybe if Breidablik come in, we'll let him go there then. If we look at the hierarchy, our team leaders are Bakali, Rafferson, and Degan. Now, Giacchini has the attributes to be a captain and to be a leader, but he hasn't been at the club for that long, obviously. So he will hopefully, surely become up to highly influential, and he may even, he should become a team leader at some point. Bakali was vice captain, so that's why he's there. It might be that those two end up switching around. But obviously time will tell. And the social groups, I haven't checked these actually, but we haven't quite all come together as one yet. But we do have a little splinter group here of newly signed players, it looks like, that are teenagers. So you'd expect them to sort of hang out, I would imagine. But yeah, this will all come together, I'm hopeful anyway, as things go on. We've just got such a high turnover of players. It's difficult, I think, for everybody to come together under the one social group. Now, let's have a look at what we're expected to do this season. Top 2 places in the league. I mean, it's not. We're expected to win the league, and we should win the league, to be honest. Reach the first preliminary round of the Champions League. We will do that quite comfortably. Win the Icelandic Cup. That's up to the Gags. Hopefully, they'll manage that. We've already won the other 2 competitions, and so it doesn't really matter what was expected of us because it's done and dusted. So that is that. Now, if you didn't watch last episode's transfer special, maybe go back and do that. You will have a better idea of what we've got coming into the season. But the pre-season odds suggest that we are slight favourites. Breidablik, FH, second and third favourites. Folgner down there in 7th surprises me because, I mean, they're in Europe this year. But we've seen before, haven't we, that I think Breidablik should re-establish themselves as the second top team in the league. And then it's going to be very close after that, I would have thought. The dream team, it is all of us. Now, a few caveats here. We know that Stanijevic, A, shouldn't be there, but B, he's leaving. Mazuros will in all likelihood be leaving because we can't get a deal done with PSG to keep him for another year. And Conde is leaving as well. So they're not all going to be here for the the entire season. A lot of them are going to be off in July, so just over a month's time. Now we look at some of the key players in the league. Bautenson and Beyonce are the top 2 players in the league according to this. Bjornsson, who is one of ours out on loan, is the 3rd best player in the league, and he doesn't even get a look in for us. So that gives you a rough idea of where the league is, doesn't it? If we go down here, this Valgerson is one of our ex-players, as is Hadartson that we've let go. So that's good to see them out there strengthening the league. And if we go down, there's not really anybody else there that I recognise. So yeah, well, we'll see what we do. We will win the league in all likelihood. Let's hope that that other teams can do a little bit better in Europe, though. Now, I think that's just about everything to start off the season. So let's go and have a look at what we're doing first up here. That is the cup. We are facing Thor. I will try and pronounce it correctly because it is just a great name. Apparently their logo, their actual logo, is like it's like Thor's hammer or something as well. Someone was telling me, so that's amazing. But we're expecting a 4-2-3-1. In truth, we probably don't know exactly what we're going to get, and it shouldn't really matter, should it? So this is the team we're sending out. Puol in goal. This is more or less what I think is our strongest team. Giacchini, Daphne, Dagan, and Volpez. I wonder what the combined weekly wages of the defense. 27.5, 22. He's on 92, I think, Degan, isn't he? And then Volpez is on 82 grand a week. So it's got to be half our wage budget just in defense. And Puol's on 27 grand a week as well. Anyway, focus. Jonsson's going to be the defensive deep line playmaker. Arneson is filling in because Raul's got a bit of a knock, so we're not obviously going to risk him earlier on in the season. Bakali will be the advanced playmaker. Milosevic, Beyonce, and Bautenson will be the front 3. Now, Fredrickson was our hot prospect. This is him. 18 years old, in the first team squad this year, and we're going to try and give him as much game time as we can. The issue, of course, is that we have so many players that play in this position. Obviously, Jonsson, who we picked up from FH a few seasons ago now, but Arneson came through the academy, and we've got others as well that they all play the same position. Obviously, Turpinson, and I think there's 1 or 2 others that we've actually put out on and Gisarassen's the other one as well, plays the same position, came through our academy. So yeah, the Gags are very well served for a defensive midfielder. Alright, so let's have a look at the team sheets here. Haf Pawson is still there. We had him so many years ago now, didn't we? Jogovic is one of our ex-players, I'm pretty sure, as well. So there's a few there that have gone to Thor, so that's good. Is that I think our Dell goalkeeper is injured right now. I think we still actually have him. So let's just go out there, relax, play the game. We don't need to put extra pressure on us in the league because we know when we saw it, 1 to 91 on or something. And yeah, so I think what we'll do today is like what we always do for the first game of the season. We'll change up the 11 so we can get a look at everybody and have a look at some of the depth that we have as well. And yeah, I mean, it's I know it's not probably the greatest episode in terms of interest, the first one, but we've got to get to the Gags in Europe somehow. So yeah, unfortunately, it's I guess a bit of a necessary evil. And who knows, maybe early on in the season we we can always slip up, can't we? So I say that 2 minutes into the game, are we going to get a goal? No, Daft heads it just over. I'm actually recording this before the transfer special has gone out. So I don't know exactly what you guys have said in terms of where you think we still need to strengthen, more for Europe than anything else. And Giacchini, I just remembered I didn't show you goal of the season yet. We'll do it before the next game. Arneson, couldn't quite slip a ball through there. Yeah, so I still think, as I've said before, I think central midfield is somewhere that we will need to strengthen before Europe starts. And I do wonder if we need a better centre-back as well. Bautenson's played in. Bautenson off the inside of the post. Giacchini with the assist. And it is now 1-0 in the 6th minute. So that is all very, very nice. Giacchini, 1 possession back, looked up, played it in. Bautenson, I mean, it was a really good pass. Just somebody needs to turn his phone off, doesn't he? Unbelievable. Let's see if I can sneakily do this. That might be a comment from YouTube, actually. It's probably one of you slating my transfer window. Anyway, Bautenson with a nice run to pick up the pass there. Goes back to Giacchini. Beyonce, look at the space we have through the middle. Jonsson to Bakali. Across there to Volpez. Volpez back in. And Beyonce's head hits the post. Well, his header does. His head didn't hit the post. The ball did. And that will do it for that particular highlight. Yeah, Valor's one of the teams that has the big... I think it's Valor and... Who's the other one? But Valor definitely has a stadium that is over 10,000, and... I can't remember who the other one is. It's not Breederblink, though, which is who I think... Breederblink and IA need to expand their stadiums because they're generally speaking very decent teams. So I almost want to say KR was the other one that had a big stadium, but I genuinely can't remember. But yeah, what I would like to wish I could be able to do, and there's probably a way with the editor I can do it, is sort of see what all the other clubs' finances look like. I would imagine that there is some money being spent on players. As there's a good ball in from Milosevic, Baltinson buries it, and it is 2-0, his 9th of the season. And Baltinson, I wonder how close Baltinson is getting to Godini's all-time goal-scoring record. Because he has been banging them in as well, hasn't he? And we know Godini, in the end, I think he fell just short of 90 in the league. So I do wonder how many Baltinson... We'll have to check how many Baltinson has We'll do it at half-time if I can click on his name. I think I can at half-time. But yeah, the players that the other teams are signing, they are starting to get some decent players in. As that was a bit of a scramble that ends up going behind for a corner. But they're getting older guys that have played in the bigger leagues, which is obviously better than nothing, than not getting those sorts of players in. So they are getting there. They are definitely getting there. The league, I don't think, is ever necessarily going to be competitive again. And we've seen this before when we were at Welders in Northern Ireland and Barlowtown in Wales. It's a good finish from Baltinson. Milosevic with another... it's offside. Must have been close, I would imagine. Yeah, just went a little bit early, didn't he? And he didn't need to, because he ended up hitting the ball almost in line, if not behind the defenders. But obviously he wasn't to know that was what was going to happen. And Vikinger might be the other team that has the big stadium. I just saw that they'd scored a goal. That might be who it is. So we don't want to get complacent. What we might do, ideally Baltinson would have had a hat-trick and we could have brought on Skogan, who's the youngster that we signed. Not that Baltinson's old by any means, he's 22, isn't he? But it would be nice to make a few subs here. Have a look at some of the bench players. That is a decent header. And it was Daphne, I think, straight into the goalkeeper's arms. Arneson isn't having a great game. I wonder if we push Jonsson forward and get Fredriksson on to play as that defensively minded midfielder, the deep line playmaker. Bakali, there's a ball for Baltinson. He's onside this time. Can he finish it for his hat-trick? Baltinson, of course he can. This time it's his 10th of the year, and we will now take him off. We'll get Skogan on, and we can start and rotate a few players around here, I think, at 3-0, can't we? Really good ball from Bakali. And Baltinson, he's not going to miss that, is he? Let's hope he carries his form into Europe this year. He was a little bit off, wasn't he, last season, Baltinson? But yeah, that was a very nice finish indeed, as we see Skogan. And we're just going to go with Skogan. He's got about 20 names, I think. But yeah, it's going to be Skogan for the purposes of this, as Giacchini finds Arneson with a nice pass. Arneson now with a nice run through midfield. Can he find the pass for Skogan? He might have been offside, and that was not a Baltinson-style finish, that one, was it? Unfortunately. All right, Arneson. Okay, so let's leave Arneson on. I think... Oh, wait, Skogan's got a knock. All right, well, we'll leave him on because we don't really have another striker anyway. And... I mean, we've got 4 strikers, if I'm honest, if he's injured. As Bakali, gets back to clear off the line. If he's injured, then he's going to be less likely to complain about playing time. So maybe it's a good thing if he does have a bit of a knock. Volpez, not having a great game and on a booking. Let's get Snyder on, who's one of our youngsters. As Skogan, that's a good pass, good run from Milosevic as well. He hits the post, unlucky. And Jonsson picks up the ball there. Bakali across. Milosevic can't quite get to it. Bakali wins a header. What is going on? And here we go with Beyonce now, twisting and turning and losing out. It's becoming a bit of a long old highlight, this one. And it does, in the end, come to a conclusion. And Skogan is now injured. There's a potential foot injury. I wonder if it's a bruise or I wonder what he's done to himself there. Anyway, I took Giacchini off, did I, for Fredrickson instead of... Okay, so turns out we need a left back. Let's have... all right, hang on, let me think. All right, so it's all changed. We have got Snyder coming on to play right back, Hansi Mortensen coming on to play left back. We've moved Fredrickson forward. Jofferson's coming on. Beyonce goes to the right. Milosevic goes up top, and it's Jonsson, Volpez, and obviously the injured striker that have come off. So let's see what we get from this. Beyonce with a corner. It is Daphna. Oh, he is really, really good from a set piece. Again, obviously, quality of opposition as the forever caveat whenever we play domestically, but he certainly doesn't miss the target when he gets up in a free header. And really, that sort of thing. I mean, you're going to have less free headers in Europe against better defenders, but the fact that he can sort of fairly reliably find the target when he does get free, you know, I mean, that's a talent that sort of transfers no matter who you're playing. I think as Milosevic goes down, it's going to be a penalty. It looks like he's going to pick himself up and take it. Can Milosevic get himself a goal? Of course he can. Really good penalty. Inside the side netting, I should say. His second of the season. And it is 5-0 in the 83rd minute. And despite making all our subs, we just sort of continue to march on somewhat, which is always good to see. The other position I wonder is left back. If we could do with somebody else, but we've got the new boy Weir as well, don't we? So we should just about be okay there. But that's a good first win of the season. Let's see what we can do when we change everything up. So there we are at the top of the table. Folgner are second at the moment and Breederblink third. I mean, that could just about be the final table as well, to be honest. So yeah, let's see how it goes. So the injury is just a bruised ankle, so that's fine. 5-star Grindavik triumph. Classy Bautenson starts the season off with a hat-trick. Now, I want to see how many goals does he have. We can just go to his career thing. So only 43. I'm only 43, but he's done most of his scoring in Europe, I imagine, or cup games then. So he's a fair way away from Godini's record, which in a way is surprising. But anyway, we've got the Burnley manager, Tom Conlon. Why does that name sound familiar? He's a very good manager, but have we signed him somewhere before? That name is familiar. Oh, if you know why I know that, let me know. What a manager he is, though. Very, very good indeed. You want to come and be my assistant? Anyway, that is that. The transfer window is technically still open for another, couple of hours. So we're not going to do anything. We're not going to sell anybody that I'm aware of. So I will see you for the second game momentarily, and that is against... As we scroll down, Grotta, that's right, Grotta. Okay, welcome back. We are getting ready to host Grotta in a game that could be an attendance record. Here we go. Here we're expecting a bumper crowd of 9,911, which would be beat the previous record, which is held by Folgner. We do not hold the attendance record in the league. So, you know, there are other teams in there that get good crowds as well. It's not just us. So it would be really nice, obviously, to break that record. And when we get our expanded stadium completed at the end of this season, or not, I think it is at the end of this season, actually, then we should be able to get a crowd above 10,000, which would be the first time, obviously, in domestic Icelandic football that has happened. Now, we've also got our draw for the first round of the cup, and it is against Afterrelding. Now, we did play them in the second tier when we were down there. They are now a non-league side. I'm assuming third tier. Maybe they'll be lower than that. And so it's a game we should win, even if it is away from home and with the Gags. Now, the other thing we've got to catch you up on is last season's goal of the season as voted by you. So let's go see which one you voted for. And it was this one, Champions League, first game of the league phase. Beyonce crosses the ball in on the volley. Milosevic, have some of that. What a finish. But let's go and have a look and see what we're doing here. We're expecting Grotta to play a 4-4-2, so that means that we will go to our 4-4-2 anti-formation, and it means that we want Rafferson in goal, please. It will be Weir play his first league game for us. I think he played a game in, or might actually be his first ever game, because it might have been a friendlies he was playing in. Nerezovic, with the Croatian centre-back, will play this one next to Unnison with Juleson at right-back. It is Pavas, the Conde replacement, coming in. He's training on well, apart from determination, but let's hope he continues to go well. Bjornsson, actually no, it's not going to be Bjornsson because Allmarkson is fit, so we wanted to do that, and we wanted to do, we probably want to leave wingers as an option, do we? We'll find somebody to play out left, and we will do that. So it will be Raul and Turpinson in midfield. It'll be Olmarkson in behind Seema and Kruzliak, and this team should be good enough to get the better of, who are we playing? Grotta, that's right. Alright, so we can see the team sheets there. I do not recognize any names in their lineup. So, I mean, I don't like Grotta because they have our jersey and they refuse to get their own. So I try not to sell them players because ideally they'll just be relegated out of existence. But we'll wait and see. Hasn't happened yet. So, although they do go down occasionally, we've seen that, but they do tend to come straight back the next season. So, yeah. One thing I do notice about the new Grindavik Stadium is when you look at it, it is becoming, it looks like a football stadium, doesn't it? Those big stands all around. It's going to have another big stand at the other end by the end of this season. I don't know. We'll have the ability to expand it again. Financially, as much as anything, might be our hurdle on that front, as Raul stands over a free kick. And, I tell you what, that was quite close, wasn't it? So, yeah, we'll wait and see. Whether or not we need to expand it, I guess we'll wait and see. 11,000 is a decent sized stadium. It's not enough to sustain the wage budget that we currently have, but it's not too bad. Raul now over a free kick. Now he is a decent free kick taker. This should be in his range. Raul, oh, it's stunning. It's the second of the season. It opens the scoring, and that is that. I've said this before, but if you're looking at the two and wondering the difference, we have like the yellow slash around our sort of waists, and they have yellow socks, we have blue socks. Other than that, it's very, very difficult to tell the two apart. So yeah, that is just kind of what it is. So, I mean, Raul would usually be in the sort of the first choice team. It's just his injury. There's, a decent pass. Kruzliak just didn't quite look like he was expecting it. It's a bit of a shame for Kosh, actually, because I would have liked to have played him in this one, but, that's really nice, and, did Kruzliak and Olmarkson just kind of leave it for each other in the end there? Yeah, I mean, it is just a squad that is very strong for what we need domestically. I mean, looking at it a little bit, it does maybe just look a little weak. Oh, there's a goal for Kruzliak, assist for Weir, and that is 2-0. But yeah, it does maybe look a little weak for Europe, doesn't it? I think our first choice team would be absolutely fine, but I think if we start digging below that, you scratch the surface kind of thing, and it's not the greatest midfield. And defensively, yeah, I mean, Unason or Nirazovic could probably do a job for us in Europe, but ideally they wouldn't be playing. But like I say, the window will open again before we've got to play sort of Champions League games that particularly matter. I mean, this squad would be good enough to get through the first qualifying rounds anyway, I would have thought and hoped. So I don't think we have to worry too much about that. We'll have time to strengthen, and hopefully we'll be able to get some players, if not... I mean, ideally, we probably want loans with minimal wages, if I'm honest. That's probably what we're looking at. As Weir gets past his man, does really well. Kruzliak's in the middle. He checks back, finds Seema. Seema, look at Olmarkson, unmarked, and he can't finish it. And he really, really should have, shouldn't he? So it'll be 2-0 at the break. And, I mean, it's solid enough, isn't it? We haven't done... anything more than we've needed to, really. We probably should have had one or two more, Olmarkson. But all in all, not too bad. Turpinson's not having a great game, neither is Olmarkson. Now, Turpinson's not really match sharp. Olmarkson's just coming back from injury. We might bring on Bjornsson for Olmarkson just so we don't risk a rehash of that injury. As, I mean, it's not the best defensive setup from a corner there, is it? And... well, now we've got an overlap we've got to worry about. Weir is putting decent pressure on, and I think we've done enough there as Rafferson comes out. And let's see if we can go the other way. Olmarkson to Raul. Raul keeps going himself. Raul, is he going to find a pass? Kruzliak is through the middle. It's chopped in. Chopped in? Chipped in, even. And over the top. Raul over a free kick. Not his best, that one. And it does put us under a little bit of pressure coming back the other way now. And are we going to be able to win this back. Not as of yet. Or forward. Unneson's there. Wins it. Down for Raoul. Raoul to Kruzliak. Back to Unneson. Julesen's made a good run forward. Haven't really used him. Straight through the heart, though. It is Seema. And Seema just rolls it in for 3-0. And Wendell Seema is so calm in front of goal. I mean, it's difficult to know exactly who's going to be sort of first choice in a sole system or in, with two up front. But I think at the moment, Seema and Balkinson are kind of dueling it out, and Kruzliak's almost third choice. Now, considering what he was doing for us in Europe last year, it's almost difficult to believe that. But and Skogan is just, I mean, it's one of those. I probably shouldn't have signed him, but he was going to go somewhere else, and then he was going to be so much more money. £1 million for someone of that quality, I think, is definitely worth it. As Kruzliak's in, Kruzliak scores. And on the hour mark, it is now 4-0. And is that enough for us to say, you know what, Kruzliak? We might need a goalkeeper. Let's switch you around, see what we can get. And can we get Rafferson on the score sheet? Turpitson with the ball in. It is over everybody. Seema to take. No, let's pause. Let's get Rafferson on the penalty. It is a little silly, isn't it, when you are doing this sort of thing. Okay, I'll just do it that way. We did it in time. All right, can Rafferson get a goal for the second season in a row? Doesn't look particularly confident. He's done it. He's put it through the goalkeeper. His first of the season. His second goal for Grindavik. And it is 5-0. And really, the goalkeeper will want that back, won't he? He could have done almost anything with that, including just let it hit him in the face. Raoul over a free kick again. It's a little bit too far out, potentially, but he's done very well. And in the end, it's a little bit unlucky not to have scored. Fredriksson, I wouldn't mind bringing him on again. A little bit further forward, maybe this time for Turpinson. And there's an argument to say Skojan should have come on, perhaps, but it's a bit late now for the, what's it called, to get the match rating, to get the progress, the development, play development. As, Raoul just couldn't quite get to that pass, but in the end, it's a pass to nobody, which is not surprising given the jerseys are pretty much exactly the same. As Unneson now gets it forward for Juleson. He's made a lot of good runs as Juleson, not always being picked out, and that is going to be a corner, I think. And where is Rafferson on this occasion? I can't see him in there. Fredriksson to the back post. There he is. There is old Rafferson. And that is away. Kruzliak's playing a 9 in goal. And Rafferson's playing a 7.4 up front. Not bad. To be fair to Kruzliak, hasn't had much to do here, has he? It does make you wonder, could we win the league with a striker in goal and a goalkeeper as striker? As Kruzliak, it's not best. He's dealt with it, though. He's dealt with it. Well done. And that should be that. 5-0. Kruzliak with a save. Rafferson with a goal. And, Grindavik with 3 very impressive points. So 6 from 6, along with Folgner, Frida Blink, and perhaps surprisingly Starner. Now, I think they were just promoted this season. Grotta, Thor, FH are yet to get off the mark. FH is maybe a surprise packet there. But there we go. Kruzliak sends us top, and there we go. An impressive debut from Weir. You would expect it to be impressive, to be honest. He's not playing against much, is he? Kruzliak with 2 goals before going into goal. Heads up. It's all right. It's all right, Kruzliak. It's just a bit of fun, mate. We're just taunting the rest of the league. It's going to be okay. All right. I promise I won't play you as goalkeeper again. I apologise to your idea of the situation. You can enjoy that you'll be playing in your favourite position from now on. There we go. All right, Kruzliak. We won't play you in goal anymore. It's no fun, is he, Kruzliak? All right, guys. That will do it for today. If you've enjoyed that, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. We'll be back with the gags. We'll face Afterling. No, that's not how you say it. That's just what I call them. And then we'll play hopefully the next round anyway. And if it's not, it'll be KR away. And it'll be goalkeepers up front and not Kruzliak in goal. But anyway, guys, I'll see you for that one. And yeah. Valor away next is potentially going to be a big crowd, I think, because anyway, I don't know what the stadium situation is. I will stop rambling. Take care.